How much do you think the fact that Rodney was not a real option for you had to do with him being black?
I think it had nothing to do with it whatsoever.
Nothing? How could it have nothing to do with it?
I don't know. You asked me this
Trump,
before.
think about it.
I can't. You're asking me, I'm telling you the truth. It had nothing to do with it whatsoever.
You know, the fact is, like, whatever happened with you and Daddy and that inability to talk about things, that is what I carry on. So much of what I did was connected to who I was, and nobody talked about who I was. I can't talk to Daddy about who I am. I can't talk to Daddy about who I am in terms of, you know, it's not that, like, being black is everything, but it's part of who I am, and if I can't share all of who I am with him, and why can't I share all of him with him? Because you had an affair, because nobody talked about everything, because it was all secrets.
I think your dad was in great agony, some of which he shared with me, some of which he didn't. When you were 16, he said something to me that was very poignant. He said, my whole life was a lie. He said, I lived a lie.
Right.
I think, you know, your father saw you every day as living proof that your mom had betrayed the marriage. He was the center of this huge secret that was circling around him. It was a big thing that happened to him. But maybe he was never able to separate that act happening to him from you.
I know that there's something that was lost between us. When we each found out that I wasn't his biological child. How do I get past that? Good morning, Father. Give me a hug. Yeah. I mean, Dad, it's no secret that Mommy had an affair. Did she ever tell you she did?
She never talked to me even about that. And da-da-da-da-da-da-da, and life goes on. Her merry way of poor communication and chaos and I mean, don't you think she should have told me?
Yeah. But my question for you is, you know, once you and Mommy got divorced, why did you never talk to me about not being my biological father?
About what?
About not being my biological father. Why did you never talk to me?
Because it was Mommy's business. I didn't have a clue, Lace. I would always tell people, oh yeah, my grandfather's Italian. Why Lacey looks like she does. And I believed it. I didn't tell you because I didn't fucking know till you were age 16. Talk about betrayal. It's the ultimate. Cheat on your husband? Okay, that's pretty bad. Don't tell him that you're having somebody else's child for 16 years, or forever for that matter. She still hasn't told me, but we all know. I'm talking about the ultimate betrayal. Talk about the ultimate betrayal. Just think about that. You had no idea of how things were.
You're right, I didn't. You're right. Maybe you and Mommy had a relationship where you didn't talk about things, but I'm not that person. And there is absolutely no question for either of us who you are to me as my father and who I am to you as your daughter. I think it's been difficult for me to acknowledge certain aspects of my life because it implicated things that we didn't talk about. And I have not shared with you certain aspects of my life, and that going forward, I want to change that.
Okay, well, time will tell. Let that play out.